It's nice to know that when I'm away, the center continues and people get to know each other. We have become so separated as a human race. Everybody is so locked in computers in their own world. And so many people are more lost than they've ever been. There's been less friends, walk into your neighbor's house, come in for a cup of tea. There's none of that going on anymore. There's very little kindness showed. Everybody writes about it. Everybody goes on emails with it. But how many experience the kindness directly? Easy to write, easy to talk. But do you live it? You see? And I think with Sangha, and all of you being together, it creates like a family energy. And everywhere I've been, wherever there's Sangha, you see there's another kind of energy. The room fills up with this wonderful divine energy that is so truthful, and so peaceful, and so warm, and so kind, and so safe. Because this is who we are. This is who we are, the best in us. This is who we are. When we sell the best in us for something material, we lose ourselves and we're not happy. It's like Lord Jesus said, do not store your treasures on earth, where thieves can steal it, where rust can rust it, where moths can eat it. But instead, store your treasures in heaven, where thieves cannot steal it, moths cannot eat it, and rust cannot rust it. But so many of us don't store our treasures. And what are our treasures? What are our treasures? These simple moments of unconditional love in your song that makes us fly beyond ourselves, that makes us feel happy, that gives us a sense of away from our own minds, away from our own minds. Because if you think about it, really all the trouble starts really there. Constantly, when you're in trouble, ask yourself, where does it start? Where does it start? And the answer will be my own mind. Because if I didn't think it, it will not be like so. I remember many years ago, simply when I was with Gurudev, and when I first started, I used to imagine, maybe I do experience stuff. It's not unreal, it's real of this earth. This earth has many dimensions, you all know that, right? So many that we can't see. So I was very involved in what I call the medium dimension. And I used to feel like ghosts and spirits and breathing in my ear and see things. And I used to tell Gurudev, I'm really scared, I don't sleep at night, I have breathing, I have all this kind of energy, I'm really frightened. Every night I have to wake up my husband, darling, I hear these noises again, I hear voices saying, help me, and I don't know where they're coming from, and it's really quite creepy. And then he said to me, Nalanie, where does it start from? And I go, what do you mean? I hear it, but where do you work it out from? I said, my mind. So he says, do you understand? So long as you're in your mind, it's real. The moment you take it out of your mind, nothing is real. And I go, I don't believe that. How can that be? I really hear those things. So I made a big decision to face my fears and really know it's all in mind. If it's not in my mind, the fear cannot be real. So it was one February that I will never forget in my life. My children were in boarding school, my husband had to go away for business, and February, windy. I used to live on the 8th floor in Marina Court in Gibraltar, where the winds used to howl around you. So the first night, and it's the first time I ever was alone in my life, first time. So he goes the first night, of course, bang, 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 everything's banging away, the wind is howling away, and I can't sleep. I have all the lights on, I hear all these noises, I see things going around the room, and I'm going, it's all in my mind, it's all in my mind. Couldn't sleep, still scared, started doing the Our Father, all the mantras, Hari Om, whatever mantras I knew at that time, because I only knew a few at that time. Nothing. I didn't sleep the whole night. I was like this in the morning, like my poor Gaia when she meets a stranger. She's like this, you know. I was the same, hair up, and I had to go to work. So second night, the same thing happened. I was really fearful, and I go, my master said, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Third night, I didn't sleep. By the fourth night, you know, I said, I'm so exhausted. I told my mind, I'm so tired, I have to sleep. Just made a straight decision. I have to sleep. I'm exhausted. I slept the whole night. So when I got up in the morning, I woke up and said, same wind, same noise, same home. What was the difference? I made a decision. Decision was, I had enough. I had enough. I want to sleep. So when I made a decision, it was in my mind. It may still have been in the atmosphere. Whatever was happening was continuing to happen. But I shut it out. Do you see? You can make a decision like that. And that's when I really learned that fear is not part of our nature. And when, yes, these things may happen, but the more energy we give it, and the more energy we give our panic, and the more energy we give our fear, and the more energy we give it, the more it grows in the mind, and the more we are looking, oh, this, maybe it's there. But you stop looking. If it's making me frightened, why am I thinking I got this great gift? If I have a gift, it should make me peaceful, right? Common sense. Kamala, you went through quite the same thing when you started meditation. And she called me and I gave her the same answer. It's all in your mind. Just go through this. Every meditator has to go through this. And she did. Face your fear and go through it. And she did. It doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No.
Yeah, fantastic. You just get
Scary.
through it. Mm-hmm. And if you see the film of Buddha, you know, Lord Buddha, when he's meditating before he's enlightened, what does he see? A beautiful woman tempting him, and then when she gets close, she turns into a demon. She turns into a demon, and then he goes, "You're not real," and it disappears. The whole thing disappears. So reality, this is why all the saints and sages say, you know, we can make our earth a heaven or hell. It's where your mind is that will make it a heaven and hell. Yes, all the other things are going on. Sri Patanjali in Sutra 16 of Book 1 tells us what is supreme non-attachment. What is supreme non-attachment? Supreme non-attachment is understanding that nature has three qualities. The sattvic quality, which is the peaceful quality, the tamas, which is the dull quality, and the rajas, which is activity. This all belongs in nature, all belongs in us. Sometimes we're dull, sometimes we're full of energy, sometimes we're so peaceful. Non-attachment is transcending that state. That state where you look at all these qualities and don't get involved in them. And how do I explain this constantly? For me, how I could explain this is when you go on a plane, right? And when you're going through the clouds, and there's a lot of turbulence, and the plane's going like this, and you're involved in all of that, but the moment it goes beyond the clouds, what happens? Totally blue, totally still. And what do? You look down at the clouds. It's still there, but it's no longer affecting you. Right? So this is what you learn to do with the mind, with meditation. It's still there, but it's not grasping you. It's not eating you alive. You are watching it. And this is the reason for all these talks and everything, so that our mind grows strong, our spirit grows strong, so we can look beyond the ordinary things, almost like we're witnessing our mind. And when you're witnessing it, you can decide. You can actually decide, yes, and you can see it. I'm in this state at the moment, and I'm in a state of panic. But that's not me, that's my human personality. Who am I? I'm the one I'm the one that's beyond the clouds, beyond the thoughts. This is the one that they call that self with a big capital S. The spirit that's in you. What is soul? What is soul? Soul is spirit with mind. Then there's the pure spirit that is everywhere. That is everywhere in everything, in everyone, in everything that moves and doesn't move. So the job is to, and this is why, if you can really try and understand what Jesus said, I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. And all the yogic scriptures say, be in this world, but no, you are not of this world. This will release the tension in you, the pain in you, the sorrow in you. Because it will tell you exactly what it is, an illusion. It's all an illusion. Why are you miserable? Because you made it so real. You made it so real, but it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Look back on your life. Look back on your life. You were a child once, baby's body, then you had a young, beautiful body, and then it gets older, and then the wrinkles come. And how many different bodies did you have in your lifetime? Look back at your childhood. Does it seem real? It's like a dream, right? It's like a dream. It's like a dream. If you go back in your mind, it's a dream. How many things have you forgotten from your childhood that you would never remember again? Maybe a brother or a sister who remembered something and said, oh, Nalanie, when you were young, do you remember you did that? Really? I don't remember that even. Oh, yes, you used to do it all the time. It's so unreal. You think they're talking about somebody that's not even you. So in one lifetime, so many things can happen. And when you lose this body, you go somewhere else to another dimension. That's all. So it's the clinging, as Sri Patanjali tells us in the Kleshas. It's the clinging to, I'm this body, this has happened to me, I've suffered so much. It's that, because it's it's you, and then it's so real, and it's so dramatic, and it's so, but it doesn't get you any worse, so why be like that? Do you see? Then you need antidepressants, and then you need pills, and then you need this to help you. You need, and as long as you need, you cannot be at peace. You cannot be at peace. So the goal of peace, the goal of yoga is really to be in the peace. You all know what the goal of yoga is, right? By now you should be brainwashed, except the new ones. And literally brainwashed means that you know who you are. What is your goal in life? Peace. Are you convinced of that? What is your goal? You can have a goal. Any other goal you choose. What is your goal? Peace. Peace. Some people are really unsure. Anybody else would like to say something else? What is your goal? Be honest. Peace. Peace. You know, yoga is about living a peaceful, easeful. And today we're talking about part 3. Useful life. Yeah, easeful, peaceful, and useful. Without all these 3 ingredients, you're not fulfilled. You're not fulfilled. So, do we have any questions? Oh, we have questions on the subject. And say the subject matter is joy of service. Yeah. I like this simple question. Should you expect a thank you when you open a door for someone? Absolutely not. Why do you open a door for someone? Why do you open a door for someone?
To help them.
Correct. The joy is in helping them. If you expect a thank you and they don't give it to you, what will happen to you? What will happen to you? You'll be upset. So you say, next time, I'm not going to open a door for someone. Right? This is what you'll do. I'm not going to open. I don't even get a thank you. So next time you look at the door and you want to, because your nature is generous, if you even ask this question and you would like to open a door. So because someone didn't say thank you to you, you sacrifice that which is your nature, which is to open the door and be yourself. Come in. No thank you. No problem. I opened the door. I did the job. There's a joy in it. I'm not going to open the door because they didn't say thank you. Look at the face. Look at the expression. Look at the mind stuff. Look at the energy flow. Do you see the difference? I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it because they never say thank you. Don't do it then. Be miserable. That's up to you. Never expect anything. This is my secret. Our master used to say, don't make an appointment and you won't be disappointed. The only thing I expect is myself to do my jobs in life. Because that's the only thing we can depend on virtually, right? If they say a thank you, wow, bonus, I got a really good day today, gift. I didn't expect a thank you. If you expect a thank you from anything you do in life, for sure you won't get it. Do you know, in my early days, I must tell this story because this is where I really learned it from. In my early days of teaching, very early days, and I love these lessons because they make you very free. They keep you free. And what is yoga? Also to make you feel free. I remember we didn't have a yoga center in Gibraltar. We used to work from a community center. And I used to give up every morning, Wednesday morning. I used to go to art classes, but I gave that up because I couldn't work and give classes and give talks. And I had a group, quite a big group, maybe at the end it was about 30, 40 people, every Wednesday morning, and I gave a talk every Wednesday morning. Everybody was very happy. Came Christmas time. And this was the first year, and I was a novice. I was a baby at this job. I didn't know about human personalities. I didn't know about me, I should say, what I was and what my needs were. Anyway, I said, and Christmas time comes, and the last class, oh, Merry Christmas, Nalanie. Nobody, thank you, nobody, anything. Not even one Christmas card with thank you. And I remember this so clearly. I remember walking home thinking, not even a thank you for all the work I did. You know how the head goes, right? Tears coming down my eyes. And then suddenly I go, Nalanie, why have you started yoga? To be free. What are you expecting? You say you're not expecting. You tell people, everybody, you're giving them free classes, but you're expecting a thank you. It's not free. You're still expecting a thank you. I go, but don't I deserve it? This is a conversation in my mind, right? And then, yeah, of course you deserve it. There's no problem about that. But wanting it makes you miserable. Do you still want it? And then I went home. I actually told my husband this story. And I said, you know, I've learned a big lesson today. And funny enough, I haven't learned it with you, but I think I've learned it with the world. I still expect from you. And I said, but that's because you're my husband. Sorry. You know, I was joking with him, but I remember it was such a big lesson. After that, I really never expected anything again. And I'm always showered with so much love that it's embarrassing sometimes. You know, I go, no, I don't really, I'm just so happy when I see people happy. But you know, in our life, we have to get the pain to accept the pain of not having. And then once you accept the pain, I don't know why it happens, but you get everything you want even though you don't want it. So don't expect anything. Not because of anything else, but if you do, and if they don't do it, then the joy of the giving is gone. The joy should be in the giving. And it is in the giving when there are no expectations. It is in the giving. When there's expectations, you will be miserable. Every time you get gratitude, think it's a gift. It's not necessary. It's a gift. Will you change that thinking pattern? It's so important. It will change your life, you know. And what does it say in the Upanishads? When the desires that strangle the mortal becomes loosened, just loosen, the mortal becomes immortal. Because even the desire to have the thank you strangles you, doesn't it? Any desire you have that you want, what does it feel? Even I want to be strangles you. You are peace. And that's what the yogic teachings say. You are peace. You've forgotten. Why? Because you're having an earthly experience. Remember that. We keep remembering what is your true nature. What does Sri Patanjali says? Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. The restraining, the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. When you restrain all these all these thoughts, thank you, da, why, ba, 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 when you bring it back and watch it, just watch it instead of getting involved in it. The seer then abides, the next sutra, by its own true nature. And how does he liken it? To a lake. When you go to a lake and it's very gentle and you look at yourself in the lake, you see your reflection beautifully. Throw a stone in and the ripples it makes, you will see distortion, right? So what is the practice of purity? Is seeing the pure lake in your mind. And that means no waves, no expectations, zero expectations. This is very hard to do. Very hard to do. That's why it says be patient with yourself. And Sri Patanjali also tells us you have to practice these restraining your thought waves for a long time. Without
a break, and with all your heart.
How much do you want your peace? How much do you want your peace? How much do you want your peace? And how are you going to get it? Not with anguish, but with lots of patience. With lots of patience. Be patient with you. Laugh at yourself when you're angry. Laugh at yourself when you make a mistake. You really get a sign of growing spiritually when you are able to laugh at yourself when you make a mistake. If you take offense, it means you're very low down the spiritual ladder. So this is the signs. Watch yourself, watch yourself, watch yourself. Because life teaches you lots of things, lots of things. And the most greatest gift for me is that freedom of not expecting anything in return. It's such a freedom. It really is like somebody a knot at your neck and I'm free. They expect it. That's their problem. I know. Do you see? And then you become free. You can laugh all the time. Oh, I want my wife to be like this, or I want my husband to be like this, or I want my partner to be like this. You will never be happy. Because you can't change them. You can never be happy. This is who they are. This is who I am. I have to live by who I am. There's enough work here. There's enough work with me to bother trying to change somebody else. I need to look at myself. The best work you can do, the most freeing work in the world you can do, because you become free. Our master always said, if you point one finger there, look how many pointing back at you. 4 pointing back at you. You're shooting yourself. Don't do that. Because only person you can fix is
yourself.
Can you fix anybody? You can be angry and scream and scream and scream and scream. But you can't fix them. They can fix themselves when they are ready, in their time. So you change. And somebody once asked me, but how do you change while you're living with that person? You have to be really tough. You have to be really strong. Distract yourself. Become extremely independent. And this is where service comes in. Distract yourself. Find out how you can make other people happy. Because you know, one magic trick I learned is when you see other people happy, you forget yourself. You can. It gives you a fulfillment. A mother who's looking after her child forgets herself. Like you're doing. You forget yourself. You're looking after your child. My daughter, looking after her special needs, forgotten herself, but instead rediscovered herself, in the sense that now she can help so many other children with special needs because she has a gift. She's great at internet, she's great at publisher, she's great at finding out which are the best doctors, she's smart, therapies, and with her knowledge she can help many other people who don't know how to do that. So by giving up yourself, you rediscover who you really are. So her joy is having her special needs daughter. And her focus is how, no matter how short her life is, it may be 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, we don't know, maybe 20 years. My goal is to make her happy. By having that goal, I want to make my child happy. I've never seen her happier. It's interesting, huh? And I watch yoga teachers as well. When they really start to serve their students, when they serve, and it's not only about the money. Of course, everybody has to make a living, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. But it's not only about the money. It's more about serving their students. They're very fulfilled. Somebody can't afford it, no problem, come. The rich can feed the poor, no problem. I remember when I was recently going to do this, all the workshops that I do all over the world, we have to put a little charge because now I have to cover for travel. I'm not really working, so I need to cover petrol, plane costs, and accommodation and food. So we put a very low cost for the course, right? And the interesting thing is, we don't make anything, we just cover our costs. But everybody is worried about how much money it's going to make and how much money has to be covered for everything else. And I find it so odd, and I said, it's not about the money. And no matter how little I charge, everybody always complains. Like, you know what? You want to take this course? Go take it in America. It'll cost you $3,000. Because it's ridiculous. Everybody fighting over these things. And then, not only that do I have to face. Then I say, it's open to everybody. Oh, but Nalanie, some people pay, and those that can't afford can come in. It's not fair. I'm not about fair. I'm saying the people that afford should accept the fact there are people in the world that can't afford, and the rich should look after the poor. Don't you agree? Isn't that what sharing is? We talk about yoga all the time. We talk about yoga all the time. And then when two people really want to learn, but they really don't have the finances to cover the cost, or somebody who helps me a lot behind the scenes, I don't want to charge them because they do so much work for me behind the scenes. Why should I charge them? Isn't it my prerogative to say they don't pay? And all this talking between everybody, I said, you want me to do it? Those are my conditions. Otherwise, I'm not giving it. But you see how people get so involved? And I said, don't you all love Robin Hood? Yeah, we love Robin Hood. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. I said, why can't you all be a Robin Hood? And then in the end, when everybody is so sweet and so kind, and they all start to learn, watch themselves and learn all the judgments they're making. After 6 days of an intensive course, they all learn the judgments that are going on their head by the end of it. And they let all those judgments go. You see, everybody's transformed into peace. Look at your Raj Yoga course that you took recently, some of you, and before. You transform. Why? Because we all know that our real nature is to serve, love, give without worrying. But the world tells us that we have to worry, we have to think, we have to worry about this one and that food and this. I tell you, I've never been so rich in my life as when I don't work for money. How did that happen? Didn't work for money, I got this house. Who's build this for me? My uncle. Did I ask him? No. Now I'm getting an extra floor built for me. Who's paying for it? My brother. Did I ask him? No. How does it work? I don't know how it works. I just trust. I didn't even ask. I never ask for anything. Things come. And I realized there isn't a magic in that. And that's what I'm trying to tell the world. Why do you worry so much? Today, everybody's worried about money. Everybody. It's money. As you think. If you think you don't have enough, will you have enough?
No.
Absolutely, you won't. Look at this Shanti. Now she's left. What if she goes? If I'm meant to go to India, a sale will come, because she freelances very rarely for my son-in-law in real estate. It'll come. If it doesn't come, I'm not going. 2 days later, she gets the money. She can buy a ticket to India. How does it work? So we always pay for her costs because we love her to bits and we love that she works with this divine energy. Lakshmi in Portugal, same. How come these two girls can do the same? Because trust, love, service, real service coming from the heart, asking for nothing, just wanting to give love. It happens. It says so in all these spiritual books. I'm not making up. It happens, and it's happened in my life. I'm richer now than I've ever been. I think she's richer. She's living in a beautiful house by a golf course. Lakshmi lives in a beautiful house. Do you know what I'm saying? I used to live in a one small bedroom, my little bedroom in Lanore and Sabanias a few years ago. How does it work? Don't ask me. There is a force. Now, I think you are starting to understand that force. When you really stop expecting a thank you, stop expecting anything in return. Just do your gift. Whatever gift you have, share it. And as I said in the retreat in Portugal, the reason why people don't share this gift is they don't believe enough in themselves. Lord Jesus said, what did he say? Do not hide your light under a bushel. Do not hide your light under a bushel, but instead let it come out and shine for all men. We always believe somebody else can be like that and we can't. Every single soul has this potential. Every single soul. And the moment they feed on this potential of service and no fear, they grow in abundance. Again and again and again, I've seen it. My father started working at the age of 12, very poor as a tailor. Payment amount of chocolate. He used to work till 3 o'clock in the morning. And as he grew up, his mission was to feed all his brothers and his mother. And he did it. He became so wealthy. He's got, I don't know how many accolades, how many doctorates, and he can't even write English well. I've seen it. It works. It's the fear. If you just constantly, as yogis, remember, as you think. So you think, I don't have, will you ever have? No. But don't think, I have it right now too, I want it right now, and hope it's going to come. That's the other extreme. Just have everything I need, everything I need, everything I need. Do you have everything you need? If you think you do, you will have everything you need. You have a plate of food, right? You have a bed to sleep on, right? You have a home. You have one person in this world that loves you, right? How lucky are you? Do you know there are many kids in Africa just on the street? And we're talking about it today. The friends of Sis, they're going to help me raise money for them and has helped through the walk. Thank you. They've raised us 250. Thank you, Trevor. I heard you bringing some in. And we've decided also from this Karen's class and some of the money they raised, that another 100 we are going to give to the charity, the animal charity that Karen knows, because at the moment a lot of animals are suffering in this world, and I think we need to help them. We need to give them more love and kindness. They're human. They really are. So I hope I answered your question. I don't know what I was getting at there, but it doesn't matter. Not important. But when you flow with this abundance, when you flow with your own abundance and there's no fear, and you know there's a light within you, and when you just give, because we're born to give, we're born to love. We're born to love. We know this, all the traditions tell us that, and Gurudev explains it so beautifully in the Adam and Eve story. Said God created Adam, and then from Adam created Eve, and this is why there is this yin-yang connection. This is why we always have a connection to the masculine side in ourselves and the feminine side of ourselves, because we really come from one, and this is why there is this masculine energy, feminine energy attraction, because if we really from one were made two, right? And then he said, enjoy everything, because now there's duality. Enjoy it all. I put you in paradise, but do not eat of the fruit from the tree of good and evil. And I love the way Gurudev explains it. In the Bhagavad Gita, it keeps repeating this as well, and also in the Upanishads, which are old, thousands of year old scriptures, it says, do not eat of the fruit. You see, it wasn't really an apple. Of the fruit of your actions. So it's all been misinterpreted. Can you see? The fruit of your actions. So in other words, when you open the door, do not eat of the fruit. Don't expect the fruit to come out of it. Just open the door. And his example, Gurudev's example, was, why don't you all become like the apple tree? The apple tree stands nicely there. It doesn't ask for anything. And when the apple is ready, it just falls off the tree, giving for you to eat. Just give your fruits for people to eat. It doesn't say, please say thank you, apple tree, does it? And I love that example because now I have a pomegranate tree. And anybody here like pomegranates? Oh, please do me a favor. They're really ripe. When you finish, would you like picking them off the tree? Apparently they're delicious, and I don't eat. I can't eat anymore. So please help yourself, empty my tree. And I'm not tall enough also. So help yourself to it's that one there in the garden, if you can go out and just help yourself to, it makes a lovely salad. So be like the tree, be like the tree. And the tree offers shade to everybody else. But it's too hot, you sit in a tree, under a tree. It's beautiful, be like the tree and just live for that. And that is service. It's really a good feeling. So, thank you for that beautiful question. I hope I wasn't too harsh with the answer. It's the truth. I can only say the truth. So, let's go to the next one. This is a good one. How can one run for-profit business and simultaneously dedicate that business to selfless service? Examples. Very good. Okay. Business, we know, always is for profit. Correct and correct. So a business, and we need business in the world because we need trade and we need commerce and we need things to move around. So how can you run a business for profit? By being totally honest. Everybody knows that businesses have to make money. Do not be greedy. You know, I once met a man who told me that he produced some jewelry really cheaply, something like 30, 40 cents. And he sold it for 20 euros. Now for me that is great. And you're not even giving people the quality that they should have. So what kind of quality are you going to get for 30 cents? Do you see? So if you're going to run a profit business, be very fair. Be very businesses. You make 100% to cover your expenses, and you make 100%, not 700 or 800 or 1,000%. And there are many businesses for profits today that give a percentage of their profit to charity. My father always did that. They tithe, which is really good for a business. Really good. I always tell my children, my daughter and my son, whatever you make sure whatever percentage every month you give to charity. And they both do it. My son and my daughter-in-law in Hong Kong, every year they run a big Christmas party for all the cancer children. There's a place where children are going to die from cancer, and they have a home there, so they give them presents and give their family food, give them a party. They buy so many beautiful presents for each of the children there. It's a wonderful thing to do. I'm very proud of them. And every time one of the part-time, in Hong Kong you have the Filipino Maids, they look after them, they'll pay for, extra things for them, education for their children. And this is what you do when you have a profit business. You give a percentage to charity. And of course you can run a business. I think everybody should be wealthy because then they can give a percentage to those that don't have and look after those that don't have. But you see, once you start the engine running, it runs. Because It's cause and effect. Don't expect it, but it's normal. Cause, effect. If you throw a boomerang out, it's going to come back. But if you're hoarding, stealing, then all the banks are going to collapse, aren't they? With money that isn't theirs in the first place. And the ill they do comes back to them. Recently there was a big case, and this man, good man. What happened? Used other people's money fraudulently. What happens? His life is ruined. He's going to prison. Not only is his life ruined, he's lost all his friends, and his poor children cannot face the public. Do you think? You see, so what good or what does it benefit a man to gain the whole world at the expense of his soul? What does it benefit? I've seen people who hoard. Do you think they're happy? I know so many women that have like 600 pairs of shoes and enough clothes that they could, an army of women could wear those clothes. All stacked. And for what? It's not possible you can even wear this. But to keep, and things in the cupboard, in storerooms. Do you remember when we cleared out the store? And you wonder, so much clutter. What do they do? And they're not happy. Don't want to give. And you see, that kind of person always kind of gets it and loses it. Gets it and loses it. Gets it and loses it. Because it's the hoarding syndrome. So be careful. Be free. I love to, what was Thomas Edison? He was trying to develop was Thomas Edison, wasn't it? Yeah. Light bulb, yeah. And he was, for years, writing down experiments and, really trying to discover everything. And one day he comes home and everything is burnt down. And his wife and his son, all your work is burnt down. And what does he answer? No problem, now we can really start again. And continue to develop the light bulb. So never fear. You can start again. I remember, I think I've told you this story when I was 14. My father had lots of shops in Vietnam because he used to make tailoring. All the American soldiers, all the uniforms. So he had many shops all over Vietnam. He used to go there. And one day they all got bombed. He lost everything. And I remember him walking home. I was 14 years old. And we had a big house that we're living in. And telling Mom, we've lost everything. But don't worry, darling. They'll soon come back. We came from nothing. We were so poor. And look how much we've got. So we become so poor again? No problem. And guess what? Perfect timing. At that time, the market in Hong Kong crashed. They bought a piece of property just at that time from the jewelry that my mother and my aunt sold, and that property is now worth billions. And they built a hotel there. You just never know. They got out of tailoring and went into hotels and retail shops. Interesting. Do you see, when there's no fear, there is an abundance. There's abundance. And another time I had a client who lived here on the coast in, where was it? In the back, Paradiso. Yeah, big, huge villa, 10 bedrooms. Lost all their money. And I asked him, aren't you frightened from so much? You got nothing? Nah, I'll make it back. And guess what? Made it back within 2 years. Because there's no fear. And I see, throughout my life traveling with the yoga, I always like to prove if these scriptures are really right. I never take anything for granted. And so I meet a lot of people when I travel. And I see the same thing. But those who are fearful and those who are frightened, they don't. If they stay stuck, they're stuck in those that I want it now. It doesn't happen. it just doesn't happen. The more they want it, it doesn't happen. And I said, relax in your profit business. Relax in it. If it's not working, once, even in my own business, when I was working with my husband, we had really, Gibraltar was up and down, frontier closed, business down, frontier open, business up. So you buy the stock and suddenly you can't sell the stock. And it was like this for 23 years when I worked with my husband. It was such a good experience because after that, everyone didn't care. They say, oh, next month we're going to get bankrupt. No problem. We have a plate of food. It was really quite, you know what? It'd be quite good if it happened because I just don't worry anymore. I go, how can you say that? I said, I'm serious. I'm not bothered, And of course, life always works out. Even when you're not bothered, you're not really worried. As long as I do my work, pay my kids' school fees, have a plate of food, I'm quite happy. So, running a business for profit is not selfish. You have to feed a family. You have to look after people. It's our duty so that we don't beg. I think there are enough beggars. We don't need to beg. So there's no problem with that. Just give a percentage every month to a charity. But try and oversee it. It's very easy to write a check. That's really easy. I tell people, I'd rather you go see the charity, see what you are doing, get a little involved yourself, and then it gives you the joy. My father went to India himself every year to marry all the women that didn't have 100 weddings every year in this village where women, if they didn't have dowry, when they were poor, they could never get married. So they would be then cast away. So he would buy the dowry with a group of people, trustees from Hong Kong, a group of business people, and every year marry them. And he'd go to India, he'd go to these poor places himself, he'd stay in the very simple places himself, so that he got the feeling of what they needed. He talked to every single woman and man there about how they were feeling. And then he did even more. He would sit on the stage before they got married and tell the men, please treat your wives like princesses. They're goddesses. Treat your women like goddesses. In our tradition, they say, if you treat women like goddesses, you will be wealthy yourself. And in India, they don't like to hear this, because it's as you know, what happens in the villages in India, in the dowry system, you all know about that, huh? It's terrible. It's really terrible. And he says, if I hear of any of you mistreating your wives, I will come back and take her and take everything away. I was really proud of my dad. So that's what I tell people. If you're going to make a profit business, please do some selfless service on the side. Yes?
I did business for many, many years in the optical business, and when you provide service to your clients and you do things for free for them and you do it without attachment, the law of abundance works, and then they come back to buy more from you because you have given a service to them, little nose spots for free, all things for free you do for them.
Like you fix my glasses for free.
But I want to say it works. It really works because in the circle.
Yes, they want to come back.
Yeah.
They want to come back.
Clients as well.
Yeah, except and then when you give service, they'll keep coming back. Yeah. You go to a restaurant, profit. But if they treat you well, there's a nice energy there, right? I'll come back to this restaurant again because they treat us so well. You go to a restaurant where there's no service, where it's all about money. You know what? I'm not coming back here. Isn't it true? Mm-hmm. And you see the restaurant that gives you the service, you go back and they will improve. So service in every aspect of business. You do your business, do it better than everybody else. That's all. And that's how you give also. And you become an example of how work should be done. Not just standing there, you walk into a shop, yeah, what do you want? You know what? I'm going to the other shop. Isn't it true? It's just, can I serve you? Can I help you? Is there anything you need? How sweet, how nice, Service is today not, you go to airports and they're horrible, they're rude. You don't want to travel anymore. I used to love traveling. And I really don't like it. Immigration is horrible. You know, I said to Shanti, it's so nice to drive in a car and not have to go to so many immigration and rude people, negative energy, you know. It's, service is gone. You go on a plane before, 5-star service. Now you even have to pay for your sandwich. And are they getting richer? They're always getting broke. One airline getting more broke and the other one's getting the competition. Less service, less money. Yes, they may make money for a little while, but then you always hear of their downfall. In the olden days, they used to serve, if you go on a plane, incredibly. And you never heard in those days of any of the airlines going bust, like you hear today. There's no service. There's no abundance, like you said. There is no abundance, feeling of sharing. So that's how businesses should be run, like that. And then run any business you like. But do the little extra. Do that little extra. We always used to get, when we used to sell perfume and for any company, they always gave us like a box of samples free. And my husband and I would always order, paying for these samples, so that we could give them to our clients free, even though we paid for them. And like you said, they would always come back for that, you know, because really, yeah, have it. We have extra loads of extras. So nice, Christmas time, give everybody an extra present in their bag. Oh, I'll use it for my daughter's stocking, they would tell me. You know, sweet mix, and it made us so happy. It's such a nice thing to be able to give extra away, isn't it? So yeah, go ahead. Business is business in this world. We live in a world of business. You have to do business, but do it well. Do it without greed. Do it with service. Do it with love. And you will teach other people how to run businesses. And then, you know, share a little profit with all of mankind as well. And then, fabulous. It'll be perfect. You'll be a perfect business person. You know, we need business people. If we didn't have business people in the world, how are we going to have all the poor people that have no money and food? It's thanks to those people that do business, that give the charity. In our world, you know, the Hindus speak of 4 castes. Their first caste, they call them Brahmins. Brahmins are people of knowledge. They give knowledge, spiritual knowledge, to the world. They're called the Brahmins. And this is very important because the world should be imbibed with spiritual knowledge because we are spirit. Then we have the Kshatriyas. And Kshatriyas are known as the warriors. Warriors are to protect those who are trodden on, who are taken advantage of, and who are led the wrong way. You're a warrior of light now, right? So, to protect those that are not, that are so weak and cannot protect themselves. So you need the Kshatriya class. So, and then you need the Vaishnavas, which is the business class. And what is the business class? Create business so that they can help the Kshatriyas and they can help the Brahmins, so the Brahmins can be fed, so the Brahmins can just focus on giving knowledge. And also, we need the business people for the last type of people, Sudras. Sudras are the workers, the people collect the rubbish, fix the roads, do all that. And without the business people, who's going to pay the Sudras? And they say there are these 4 classes that will always exist in the world. And within all these 4 classes, everybody can realize the highest. But in this world, no, there are these 4 kind of classes. But what's happened? People in India have misread this, and they say people who clean toilets are untouchable, they're the lowest class. It never said that. It just said there are 4 types of people in this world. And they're all necessary, and all can find their spirit. All can find their spirit. No one is exempt. And that's all they were saying, but know that we did. And each one is necessary, because otherwise the wheel of life doesn't turn. It doesn't turn. So it is, each one is necessary. So got it? So enjoy your business. And every day, if you run a business, may I suggest something my father taught me, and you walk in your business and you touch the floor and you say, thank you, Lord, for giving me this so I can provide to everybody. Okay? So I can provide to the world. Thank you for giving me this talent, this gift, so I can provide to the world. At least when I leave this earth, I've done my job. And that's what you do with your business. You always bless the place, that it should be harmonious, that work in a team. If you have employees, make sure you look after them. Don't be greedy. You know, if they have a child that's in trouble or needs help and they're ill, help if you can afford to pay for them. If they're sick, help them with their expenses. Be a great business person. Don't be mediocre. You know, nowadays I see people with a lot of money and a maid get sick. Really get sick. Oh my God, my maid is sick. She's always sick. She's always sick. Okay, you don't want her to work for you, get somebody else. But she's been working with you for 15 years. She's become a family member. She's sick. Why are you screaming at her? Help her. Care for her. She's cared for you all these years. Why can't you look after her? She's just a maid. She's a human being. I hear this all. It makes me so sad. Given you 15 years of service, all your dirty work, and you can't even pay for one appointment for her? What has the world come to? So sad. I see this all the time, by the way. I just want to cry. I go, can't even treat the person who looks after your home well. How are you talking about bringing peace to the world? Isn't that hypocritical? Don't you agree? So hypocritical. Yet so many people do it. And they talk about God, and they can't even look after the person next to them. Talk about charity, big charities, and they can't even look after the person next to them. Can't even offer. You know how many, I have a little part-time girl, she's lovely, Rosie, she got earrings, and she's skinny, and she's lovely, and she's gorgeous. She's just a young girl, 27 years old. And you know, every time I offer her, have a cup of tea, you have a break, 3 hours, you must need it, just a little cup of tea. You know, I work in so many places, nobody ever offers me anything to eat or drink. Why wouldn't you? Glass of water, why wouldn't you offer somebody a glass of water? Do you see? What is the water costing you? Thank you so much. And then one day she came with a whole packet of biscuits. And I said, why are you bringing me biscuits? She said, you know, your grandchildren, I know they like your biscuits, and I hope you don't mind. You said I could get something for your drawer, and I had these Princey bag, 6 little packet, and for that she brings me 2 packets. And I go, no, you don't have to do it, it's my joy, help yourself. I did tell you, help yourself. Do you see, the more you look after them, the more they want to give you. And then next time she goes out, she buys me, young girl, little bags for my Talia for when I go for a walk. Comes a little bag with all the toilet, you know, when they poo on the ground to pick up. She buys me really pretty. She said, I know you like pink, so I bought you pink. Do you know, how sweet is that? How sweet is that? How sweet is that? But when you show love, really, you get love. You know, I really didn't expect it. I just think of her, well, she's so young. She's younger than my daughter, you know. I should teach her. You know, and when she does something wrong, I teach her. I tell her, you know, do it like this, and then it's nicer. She goes, do you think it looks prettier like this? Yeah. She's only young. People scream at me when I do something wrong. They scream at me. So, yoga's everywhere, not just in one room. I still have some trouble with the perfect action. I mix up with things. I still have some trouble with the perfect action. Okay, obviously one should specify. I don't know what your mix-up is, but what is a perfect action as said by Sri Gurudev? One that causes no harm to anyone, some benefit to someone, yourself included. In the beginning of this path, this one line is extremely important. Because when we first start going into the path of service, we want to be good, but we come across a lot of battles, and we come across a lot of things, and sometimes it's not possible to do everything. So this line, this one sentence saved me, because especially in the early days, now it really I'm much older and I think hopefully wiser, hopefully. But at that time, it was I used to get confused with this line too. Because I always thought doing good means you have to say yes to everything. Somebody needs you, you have to be there. I'm a spiritual person, I have to be there. And this line saved me because I realized at the early stages, many times I was too tired to do that something, or I really didn't want to do that something. But because I wanted to, you see all these wants and don't wants? Because I wanted to appear good, I would do it and then come back and complain. For even in my own home, for wanting to appear a good wife, even coming home from work exhausted with my husband, because I used to work with him, go to the kitchen and cook, because I felt that was a duty of a good wife, so I would cook, I would do it, but I would get so angry afterwards at him. What's the point of cooking for somebody when you're going to scream at them? I have to do all the cooking, I have to do all the cooking, I did it for you, I did this for you, I did that for you, I cooked for you, I did that for you, I ironed your clothes, I fixed your wardrobe. Whew, who would like to listen to that? But, so, what did I realize? It was really very simple. And what was it based on? My selfishness. I wanted to appear a good wife. So I went and cooked. What I changed was, through coming back to work, telling I'm really sorry, I'm exhausted tonight. Either we just have a sandwich, or should we get a bite before we get home? No problem! I'll take you out for dinner, darling. Why didn't you say so? Simple. Because you want to appear good, you want to appear you want to do it, you make yourself a hypocrite. And I noticed that wasn't a perfect action. So I learned sometimes we don't want to go out, but I would say, I'm tired tonight. And he made the best cheese sandwiches in the world, because that's all he could cook for me, cheese sandwiches. It wasn't a cook, but it was the most delicious cheese sandwich in the world. And he'd make it for me, and it was so delicious. So what I'm saying here is, in the beginning it's hard to tell what is a perfect action. All I know is when we become a hypocrite to ourselves, it doesn't feel perfect. It doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right and you feel you're pushing yourself, it's better not to get angry, but simply say, I can't do it, I'm sorry. Can't do it today. If you want, I can do it next. Now I find it so easy. I tell people, I'm sorry, I can't do it today. But Thursday I can. Whereas before, oh, I can't do it, poor thing, but can't do it. I don't have the time, can't do it. Sorry. But I can do it on this day, I can do it Friday, I can do it another day. And if they don't like it, fine, no big deal. It's no big deal. But you be totally truthful, you be totally honest to yourself and to others. Because then there's no hypocrisy. And there's a joy in it. Then when that person comes, oh, I'm so happy to see you. You really are. Because you're doing it so really in the time you can, in the space you can, and with the love you can. And when you do everything in that action, it's so nice. But when you really don't want to do it, and you force yourself, and then you go, I really don't want to do this, but I have to do it. I don't want to do it. I have to do it. Now, there are some actions in this world that we have to do, but we don't really like. And my advice to people is just get to love everything that you do. Learn to love everything that you do. And I use the example of many times with many of you about washing dishes or mopping floors. I was very spoiled before I got married. Lots of maids in the house, never had to wash dishes or mop floors or do anything like that. And of course when I got married and I had to wash dishes, I was so angry. Anger turned out in eczema. My poor husband got all the blame for my eczema. It was my own anger that caused the eczema, not him. How can he cause eczema to Henrietta? I was like, your fault, you brought me from Hong Kong here. How can he be? He did tell me if I wanted I could go back to Hong Kong and he'd pick me up when he made some money, and I go, no, we're married for better, for worse, and then I'm angry with him for better or for worse. Do you see what I'm saying? So I got eczema, and then I took out the Gita, and I think it was Gurudev's Gita, and I opened a page, and it said there was this father, that every time he was washing dishes, he was thinking that God was making music. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so when I started the yoga science, I thought, this is what I'm going to do, because I have to fix me. I have to fix me. I can't fix anybody else. I don't want to be angry anymore. So every time I started washing dishes, I'm playing music for God. And then I really got to enjoy it. And from that moment, every time I was in the kitchen, guess who walked in to be with me? My husband did. And he learned to wash dishes really well, better than me. Because the energy had changed. Yeah, you laughed. Did it happen to you too?
I thought God came into
He did, in the form of my husband. Absolutely. He did in the form of my husband. God comes laughing through your form. Do you understand? All of us are divine. We all have a speck come from that big creation. That creation divided of itself, that is the biggest sacrifice. To create a play, basically. So, when you laugh, you're divine. Everybody is divine, and if we can really see that, then the person who's shouting at you is divine. Why? Because all the scriptures tell us to bear insult, bear injury. Highest sadhana, highest practice you can have. Because if you can bear insult and bear injury, you really become free. And the only way I have learned that you can do that is, I learned this from Mother Teresa. I really learned this from Mother Teresa by reading her books. Because, she talks about all the seeing Lord Jesus in the prostitutes. She talks about seeing Lord Jesus in the thief. She talks about Lord Jesus everywhere. So she really saw the divine in every single person. And that's why she was able to help so many on the street. Because when she'd see a prostitute, she would say, this is Lord Jesus sent her to me. She's Lord Jesus herself. He's Lord Jesus. And that's how she saw. She used the word Jesus, I used the word divine, another person would see spirit, another person would see Moses, another would be Buddha, another one would be Krishna. It's all the same. Really, another one is, I see the divine consciousness in you, cosmic consciousness. Wonderful, fine, whatever suits you, but it's the same thing. Right, do you see? And I learned that the only way you could get through insult and injury is actually to see that. And to see that person is dressed as a monster to teach you to be brave. And that's how I could do it. So there was no more pointing fingers. They had to react so badly for me to suffer so much that I have to say, you know what? I had enough of this. I can't fix the world, I have to fix myself. Thanks to them, I had to fix myself. If everything went my way, I may never bother to fix myself. My best teachers, and if you look back at your life, are not the people who give you whatever you want. People who hurt you. Because you learn. Two things. You either learn or you become bitter. You become bitter, your life is miserable. God forbid, you live in hell. You learn, your life becomes a heaven. Up to us. The choice is up to us. They just come to bang us, to wake us up, to say, awake! Do not store your treasures on this earth. Treasures include people, collection of people. Collecting. My students, you know how many yoga students argue with each other? Teachers argue with each other? You stole my student, you stole my student. I said, my students are not mine, they belong to the world. Today they're here, tomorrow they're fine, good, just be happy. But do you know how many teachers arguing, jealousies, fears? Isn't it true? They're not yours. They're God's children. Give them the knowledge and let them share it with the world. But they want possession and then they're not happy. They're scared. They go to a yoga conference. Come back, fearful. You just went to a yoga conference. Why do you come back so nervous? I don't know my Sanskrit enough. I don't know this. I don't know this. Here, then if that's what yoga is, I don't want it. You haven't understood. Yoga means total peace with yourself. It's not your qualifications. You can have 1,000 certificates on the wall and have no peace. And you can have no certificates on the wall and have so much peace. Or you can have certificates and peace. Up to you. Up to you. Do you see? It's always, that's the free choice. You want to say your world is a hell? Up to you. Go be miserable. So long as you are blaming, you will be miserable. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. But the moment you take the decision, nobody can steal my life from me. Nobody. I am divine. And they have only been sent to me to teach me that. So forgive them quickly, now that they're divine. Thank you, God, I learned my lesson. You can take them back. You don't need them anymore. As Sri Patanjali would say, disregard the wicked. Disregard them. It's in our science book. Disregard them. Don't give them any energy. They're wicked. Why do you want to, oh, you did this to me, you did this. You give them power. Don't give them power. Give yourself the power back. You're not a victim. You're a child of God, as my master said. You're a child of the universe. You do not deserve to suffer. Why are you allowing man to make you suffer? Do not store your treasures on earth, where men can slaughter you. Men or women can slaughter you. But store your treasures with those whose heart are full of divine love and gold. And that I just made up. So, and that's the truth. Store them with those souls that bring you up and make you laugh and elevate you. And stay away from those who don't. What did Lord Jesus himself say? Do not cast your pearls amongst the swine. That means whatever you have, your pearls that are given to you, people don't want it, don't cast them there. Why are you forcing people who don't want to be with you to be with you? Don't bother. You are free. The choice is yours. Be the victim or be the victor. Isn't it great? Freedom. I love it. And then we go, God, why did you do it? I said, but I'm giving you freedom. You just have to decide. I didn't do anything. You decided to cry and you decided to be miserable. I'm giving you a way out. So the perfect action is one that causes no harm to anyone and some benefit to someone, yourself included. So if you're feeling not sure and disturbed, then just don't do it. Say, sorry, I'm not sure about this. Forgive me. I'm working myself out. Finish. Finish. Best to be truthful. You really find that people are so understanding. They are so understanding when you're truthful. But when you try to make excuses for why you don't want to do something, there's a lot of energy coming. But just, I'm really tired, I'm sorry. I really don't like late nights up to 2 or 3 o'clock. Do you mind if I don't come? Oh, Nalanie, I know. I'll meet for lunch another day. Thank you. That's so kind. You don't feel bad, do you? Of course, it's a special occasion and it's different. I really don't like late nights. You don't mind, do you? Not at all. Sweet. People are so kind. Okay, so we finish with this one. The last one. Where do you draw the line between service and being used? For example, taken for a ride. I'll tell you one thing, you will always be taken for a ride in this life. Whether you serve or not. So I worry about it so much. I would rather not have that thought. But where you should understand is when you see somebody is taking you for a ride maliciously, disregard it, don't give it. Don't, some people are so weak. If you know somebody is taking you for a ride, just tell them straight. I think you're taking advantage of me. Finish. Done. Why make such a big case? Why do it? If you really feel it, you need to talk to that person about it because you need to clear it. You need to clear it. If you feel used, you need to clear it. And that's all it takes is communication. You know what? I'm really not feeling good about this. I feel that you're taking advantage of me. And they'll say, why do you feel that? Then you can explain because of this, this, this. And if the person is willing to listen, then you know that is a real friend. And if they're not willing to listen, then you know they're not for you. Finish. You don't need that kind of friendship. Make it really simple. Keep your life really simple. But if you feel it, you must communicate it. Otherwise it'll stay in your heart and you'll be angry. Tell them what you feel. And I hope I answered that question. But now I don't feel anybody takes me for a ride or everybody takes me for a ride. It doesn't really matter anymore. It's not important. That thought doesn't come. It just doesn't enter the mind. But you have to deal with it in the early years of practicing spirituality. You have to deal with things. You cannot just say, oh, I'm spiritual and I'm feeling this and I shouldn't feel like this. Tell them, please. Please be brave enough to tell them. You will save yourself a lot of anguish. And if they get angry with you, they get angry with you. But at least it's clear. The air is clear. Don't live in a home where things are not communicated and there is a silent language of anger. Because that home will never have peace. Live in a home where everything, every fear can be voiced in love. Create a heaven in your home. As Gurudev told us, home, you know the word home has got... He's going to just eat him. No, that's fine, great. In the word home, you got H and E. And you got He was so good with words. So make your home really full of alms. And if you have a physical thing you can do in your homes, and I've noticed this really works for those who believe in the power of sound and energy. If your home has a lot of disturbances, it's really advantageous to put some mantras on all day long. Nice, gentle mantras. It really, really does work. In our home in Hong Kong, my mother till today, and the house there is 52 bedrooms. It's a huge house because all the cousins live together. It's a long story, you don't want to know how they live, but it's fantastic. It's a joint family. So everybody always feels so close, you know. And we have a prayer room. And every morning at 5 o'clock, the mantras go on in the whole house, every day, till 11 in the evening. So all the bad energies should go and good energies should stay. Because of course when you make money and you're well known in the world, as my family is, what happens is you get a lot of jealousies. A lot of people are jealous of that. And they will always say negative things. So just always fill your home with love and kindness, so no negative can come to you. So fill your home with love. Remind yourself of beautiful things. We cannot change the world. We cannot. What we can do is change ourselves. When we change ourselves, we can serve the world with love. And that's the joy of service. That is the joy of service. You cannot give people anything if you yourself are not happy. You cannot give love if you yourself are not loved. So you need love in your life. You need to feel loved. You need to have that excitement of loving. And if you have nobody that you feel you're loving, then just say, the divine is in me and I love you, divine. And you will hear the voice back saying, I love you too. You're not alone. So many are with us. So many great beings are with us. We are not alone. Never believe you are alone. And believe you are, and know, because I know I am so loved. You are so loved. And I think every human being should realize how loved they are. And this is why the Upanishads keep repeating what they call God is the Lord of love. And how do you experience love in your own heart? So if your heart is not full of love, how can you experience God? You cannot. So fill your life with love. Fill your home with love. Start there. Start there. Be kind to each other. Be kind. Even if you're angry with each other, at the end of our marriage, which was the best years, I always say after 25 years was the best years of my marriage. You know, in every relationship, you're going to have good days and bad days. Guaranteed. Accept that. Any two people that are together have differences because we're all unique and we all have our own opinion. Thank God for that. There are going to be differences. No, in relationships there'll be dull phases and there'll be joyful phases. And it is like that. Ask anybody in this world who has a relationship. They will tell you, 1 month, 3 months, really great, next 3 months, really bad. So, and there were days like that when my husband and I came home, we really didn't like each other. Just bad moods or whatever, and and so we, you know what we used to do? You know what? We don't. I taught my husband this, if I may say so. I said, you know, darling, I can feel you don't like me too much. No problem. And because I feel it, I don't like you too much. No problem. We'll just stay out of each other's way. And you know, when you just accept that, after a few hours or after a day or two, just back to normal again. You like me again, I like you again. And sometimes when you get in a bad mood, instead of getting angry and fighting back with him, because the anger does come up. So I'm not going to get angry, so I just do my finger like this and go, to you. And that's it. And the whole situation would lighten up. I said, but I mean it, you know, you're so rude. And I would laugh with it. And the whole situation would lighten up. And that was it. Don't overreact. It's normal. This is normal in life. It's normal with your brother and sister. It's normal with your mother. It's normal with your father. Why shouldn't it be normal with your relationships? Why do we expect so much more from people? It's normal with us, right? So why should we expect more from anybody else? So this non-expectancy, non-attachment, is service to a person. It's service. You serve people when you're not attached, naturally. Because you don't expect anything from them, and to them that's the greatest service. That's the greatest service. Just when they don't expect anything from you. It's like Kennedy said, ask not what your world should do for you, but ask what you can do for your world, or your people. Ask what you can do for your people, and that is the serviceful mind. What can I do for my world today, this morning? How can I make it better? Either look after an animal, look after the plants, look after a person, smile. Just smiling, you're looking after your world. Just smiling without a long face is looking after your world. Have you been through the streets of London recently? Isn't it true? Yes. And then we smile everywhere we go with yogis and mad. We're always laughing. And even the waiters, right? They want to serve us more because we're laughing all the time. Isn't it true? Remember that pub we went to? We had to run in the end. When they see people happy, they're attracted to serving you. So it is true. Just smile and you change the world. That is the service. That is the service. If you have a long face on all the time, please teach you a very good exercise. Go look in the mirror every day and practice smiling. Every day for 5 minutes, practice smiling. And practice not smiling too. And look at yourself. See how awful you look. And you smile. It's a big difference, isn't it? It's a huge difference. And then you're asking people, like me. Walk a mile, disregard. How can they like you? It's impossible. Oh no, nobody likes me. But who could like you with that face? You know, be truthful. Be truthful to yourself. You want to be liked? Be likable. Simple. So on that note, I'll finish our satsang. Thank you all. Thank you for driving all the way and coming to see us. How are you? Yeah. And we have Sari from Finland with Jona. Did I say it right? Jona? Yeah. And they're visiting for a week, so welcome. So nice to see you here. Do we have any new visitors?
Yes. My friend Maite is from San Pedro and she's come with
Okay,
her
we're
friend.
gonna know.
Okay, welcome.
Because
Welcome.
this little bridge.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we'll close. We'll just do 3 arms and we'll just have a minute of silent meditation. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Minnie. So if you please have your spine erect. And I'd like to focus on Vanessa's friend who passed away this weekend, who's 42. And anybody else you know that is going through a difficult time, please send them positive energy. And maybe if you don't mind, if it's a meditation, will you take baby out so they can be quiet? Thank you. Thank you very much. So take a slow deep breath. And exhale. Inhale. And feel all the tension leave your body. Please bring your attention to what we call the third eye, or just really it's your hypothalamus gland, your pituitary gland, your pituitary gland, pineal gland. And how you get to that spot is you look at the tip of your nose, just look at the tip of your nose, and you'll feel something in the middle of your forehead. Close your eyes. There, imagine beautiful light, a clear mind, a heart full of love, hope, understanding, compassion, generosity. See yourself in your mind's eye, see yourself as you're dressed today, and see yourself imbibe all these qualities. See it. See yourself smiling, every day becoming stronger, every day becoming stronger. We'll do a peace chant and have a minute of silent meditation. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all the darkness.
Victory to the light.
Jai Shri Satguru Satchidananda Ji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai everyone. Thank you. Jai means victory, by the way. Victory to the bright and the light, and victory to everything we do. Do not expect failure, you will be failure. Know that you can control your mind and be at peace, and you will. It may take time, but you can do it. That's all you have to think, yeah? That's all you got to think.